Jtali. I manifest. Want it, I see it, I got it, I get it, no question.
Welcome back to another episode of JtaliReacts, bringing you the highest vibrations on the internet. If you haven't already grabbed my book, Cheat Codes to the Simulated Life, an epic guide to metaphysics and manifestation, you can get that on Amazon today. Because we all know if life's a game, then there must be cheat codes. Well, you can have those cheat codes for a very low price on Amazon today. Now, I also dropped a new journal / workbook. It's a manifestation journal called the Epic Manifestation Journal. You can get that on Amazon as well. Today we're going to talk about something that I really love to talk about. I love to think about it. Like, it really shows us that we're five-dimensional beings at the end of the day. Dreams. Do you dream? Do you lucid dream? Do you astral project? Do you have terrifying nightmares? Me too. Today we're going to find out why. Let's jump right into the first video. Here we go.
Your dreams are important. Pay attention to them. They are putting you into another reality, showing you that there's another reality than this 3D objective world that is bounded by our five senses, that there is another side to you. Just like you have an etheric body, you can enter into the fourth and fifth dimension, which is not real in the 3D sense, but it exists.
See, like you said, we're entering into the fourth and fifth dimension. I believe that. I mean, a lot of people have trouble with meditation, but think about it. Every night, you're in the deepest form of meditation possible. You're in such a deep trance that you're literally bringing your soul into another dimension.
People who can get out of their body can go anywhere they want and do amazing things, even though the rest of us haven't learned how to do that yet. But it's possible that all of us can do that. And what wonderful surprises would we encounter if we had an out-of-body experience and we could do that at will?
Facts.
You're all attached with a silver cord, our spirit, which is the real you, and the body, the entire time.
I love Dolores
alive.
Cannon.
Because every night you go out of your body. Everybody does. The spirit, the real you, imagine how bored it would get sitting around waiting for the body to wake up. The body's what gets tired. The real you doesn't. And so it's sitting around waiting for you to get up. Okay, let's get on with it. As soon as the body goes to sleep, you're out of there, having all kinds of adventures. You're going to the spirit side, you're talking to your guides and your masters and getting instructions, or you're off anywhere you want to go in the world, seeing people, looking in on them, whatever you want to do, or you can go off to other planets, other dimensions. You do this every night, but you don't know it because, well, you're not supposed to know it for one thing, it'd be too confusing. But the only way you remember is if you have dreams of flying, are dreams of strange, unfamiliar places. So,
tell me what you do when you lucid dream. Throw it in the comments below. I know whenever I realize I'm dreaming, I usually jump straight to flying. And it's crazy because I fly like a superhero. It's like, no wonder Marvel emulates their flying superheroes like that, because they probably felt that in a lucid dream. Another thing I found was, there was this TikTok trend going around that you're not supposed to ask somebody in your dreams where you are personally, like, where's Jason? And I did that, and it was like terrifying. It was so scary. It like brought me out of my lucid dream. I woke up, but I asked someone in my dream, I was like, where's Jason? And it gave me this most like terrifying look, like the person was scared, and just everybody around me took off in different directions. So dreams are crazy, and we really need to learn more about them. But let's jump back into the video.
we're off having all these adventures every night. And in toward morning, when it's time to get back to the body, we are connected with the silver cord the whole time. You're reeled in, so to speak. They reel you back in to where you're back in the body again. Then the body has to wake up and you're ready to continue your daily work.
Real talk.
Dreams are a special, intense kind of thought known as spontaneous thought. That's when ideas, images, and stuff just pops into your head, seemingly out of the blue. And 20 years of spontaneous thought research has revealed that these thoughts are highly functional, and they're focused mainly on memory consolidation, identity formation, emotional regulation, and future planning. Dreams are a special and intense kind of spontaneous thought that produces narratives that embody all these things. Dreams use metaphorical stories to do this because metaphors are able to condense a huge flood of sensory data that we encounter every single day into a single, comprehensive, but symbolic story. So when we're dreaming, it's like our brain is saying, I think my life is progressing as if this story were true. If I'm facing a big decision, it'll be about coming to a crossroads on an important journey. If I'm avoiding problems, I'll be running away from monsters. If I'm trying to change, I'll be fostering a divine child. If I'm reconnecting with spirituality, I'll encounter a god or a goddess. If I'm stuck in trauma, I'll experience it over and over. If I feel like I'm not in control, I'll be on a runaway train. This is the reason why this is so important is because these are attempts at social adaptation and sometimes physical adaptation. The brain is trying to create a story of me, and doing this helps to regulate my feelings, figure out who I am, plan for the future. This is why the genre of fantasy in fiction is the most able to depict our inner dynamics, because like the dreaming brain, it can make symbolic stories of them that resonate for generations.
I think the only fantasy in fiction is his 20-year experience studying dreams. He's probably the most scientific guy that I included in these videos, and it seems like he's gaslighting us the hardest. Dude should be working for NASA.
And it can use any kind of symbol that it wants. And if you like this kind of stuff, give it a like and follow. Check out podcasts and other cool stuff over at my website, ericgoodwin.com. That's me. And if you do like fantasy, then you can have a look at my fantasy novel, In the Forgotten Darkness, which is first of the Raven's Tale series, available on the internet everywhere.
Everything you're saying is fantasy.
Or even come across this topic, but there are tons of videos about it, about scientists confirming that your dreams are actually real, but they are real in another reality. And what do I mean by that? It's not something that you're imagining. You're actually in another reality. And to put a little context to it, so to give you a better understanding, like when you sit there and you dream that you hit the lottery and your bank account now is full and your bills are all gone, that was actually real, but it was in another reality. So what they're basically talking about is lucid dreams. When your brain goes lucid, you're actually not dreaming, but in tune with another version of your life. So basically, when you've had those dreams of interacting with people who are no longer with us, it was actually real. It actually happened.
15 years old and he has autism and he is nonverbal and he spells to communicate. He's got a little board that he pokes the letters and he spells out. So it's quite a difficult process for him to communicate. But recently he told me something that was so mind-blowing and so crazy. I have to actually share it with you. The Holy Spirit's really been prompting me to do so. I'm actually waiting at my daughter's school to pick her up from a hockey tour. So I was not expecting to make a video, so you'll have to excuse the way I look.
You look great.
But here I am. So my son Daniel spelled out to me that he had a rapture dream. And in his dream, he said that we went up to heaven. I'm just going to keep it quite basic because he didn't give me tons of detail. And he also said that, so when he got up to heaven, I asked him, who did you see? And then he said, sister. So before we continue, my daughter, when she was 7 years old, she's now 13, she had a rapture dream and she saw our baby that is in heaven. And she asked me, Mommy, why do we have a baby in heaven? And I didn't tell her, but it was a disgrace that years before I'd actually terminated a pregnancy at 4 weeks. Because I was petrified of having a special needs child. This was before my walk with Jesus, and I do really regret doing that. So anyway, so Danny said sister. So he's got two sisters here on earth. So I said to him, which sister? What was her, which one? You know what I mean? And the most craziest thing is he spells Sienna. So I don't even know what to say, but between God and I had said, I'd asked Jesus that if it was a girl, if he could call her Sienna. So, and then afterwards he said to me, brother. So I thought, well, how can I have another baby in heaven? So I said, are you sure you got a brother? You don't have a brother. And then I thought to myself, if he says Joshua, I'm actually going to cry because it's literally something that I told nobody. I mean, this is just between God and I. And I said to him, well, what is your brother's name? And he spells Joshua. So he's amazed. And I said to him, well, how old? Because now I'm thinking maybe I lost another baby and I didn't know about it. And I said, how old is Sienna? And he said 7. And I said, how old is Joshua? And he said 7. So I said, are they twins? And he said, yes. So I was blown away. And actually in the natural now, they would be 6 years old. But the Holy Spirit puts in me from conception, that would be 7. So then I said to him, what did Sienna say? And he said something so wild to me that I'm very scared to share it because I never want to be seen as a date setter. But I also have such a major pull to share what he's told me, because I don't want to have it on my heart or have it over my head that if I haven't shared the information I've been given to help people, then that would be really bad. So I'm going to tell you what he said. He said that his sister Sienna told him that Jesus is coming for us in September to take us home. That's what he told me. I was shocked, to say the least. So then I said to him, do you believe her? Do you believe what Sienna is telling you? And he said, yes. Then he said to me, I said to him, did you see anybody else in heaven, someone in our family that you didn't know? Because now I wanted to test this, like what he's telling me. So I was raised by, long story short, my mom divorced my father, who is still alive, when I was 2 years old. And I was adopted by a father, and he raised me, and he passed away from cancer when I was 19 years old. So my son knew nothing about him. My mom remarried, and the man that she remarried has also passed away from cancer. But that is the man that my son knew as grandpa. So we left it at that. So he never knew that I had a different man that raised me when I was growing up. And so he starts to spell I-G-N, and I thought, what is he spelling? Because, because of his autism, it's actually quite difficult for him to spell for a long time, because it's hard on his muscles. So then I thought, no. Then he stopped and he looked at me, and then he carried on and he spelled Solomon. I was amazed. So my father, who adopted us when we were little and raised me, his name was Solomon Ignatius. So he obviously was trying to spell Ignatius and couldn't. And then he ended up spelling Solomon. So it is a complete mind-blowing situation that my child told me these things about his siblings in heaven, about my father who raised me, that he's never been told about. We don't speak about him at all. As he wasn't even my biological father, but he did raise me. And yeah, so I know it's a shocking thing that I'm telling you, and I know that that doesn't give us much time. So hence the fact that I want to actually get it out there and tell you guys what he's told me, because I don't want to have it on my head for people not to know, not to be ready. So I have shared it with some people, and they kind of gave me the crazy look, like, wow, you've really lost it.
Yeah, you shared it with the world. But as far as the child dreaming about his brother and sister who are no longer here, and his grandfather he's never met any of them, completely likely, right? We've all heard stories like this. And with social media and ways to share information so quickly, it's just becoming way more prevalent, right? As far as Christ coming back, it's happening now. I mean, I think a lot of people think when they say Christ will return, and I'm not trying to get too religious on you guys. I was raised Catholic, but I'm more spiritual now. But when they say Christ will return, I think it means, and this is just my personal opinion, I think it means Christ consciousness. I think we're all going to be activated spiritually. And that's a big reason on why I make these videos. I want to activate as many people as I can. It's not a religious thing. It's a spiritual thing. So I hope you get activated. I hope you activate your third eye. I hope you lucid dream. And don't worry, we're going to show you how.
Telepathy tapes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Telepathy
educational
tapes.
too, because they talk about science since like I'm going to totally butcher this, but like the 1800s. They said that science has revolved around materialism. Basically, anything you can see and touch that can be studied by science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything outside of materialism is
Theory.
It's theory, or
That's
it's
what we were just saying.
focus. It's cringe, not cringe. What do you call it?
Ew, it's so cringe.
I forget. But dude, it's blowing my absolute mind. there's this one boy, I think it starts in like episode 3 or 4. His name is Houston, I believe. And he's from Atlanta. And his story is just insane. Like, grew up severely autistic, non-speaking, nonverbal, and mom had 3 other kids, a terrible husband, and she just grew up thinking that he was basically kind of just almost like a vegetable. We were just like, there's no way to communicate with him. There's no way.
There's no hope for like real growth or anything. It was just sustaining. Yeah, that's a bummer.
And she separated from her husband and was living alone, working a ton to provide for the kids. And she like came home one day and she said, "This was the turning point of me seeing that there's something like he can connect to, telepathically." Because she said she was so physically, emotionally, everything tired. And she said, I was so tired. I was shaking. Like, and I just sat on the couch and I was just shaking. Like, she just felt terrible. And her son, Houston, walked downstairs, sat at her feet. He said he's never done that. He was like in his teens, like 16 or something. Mm-hmm. Could be getting this wrong too. This is all secondhand. But sat at his feet, and she said that he moved 24/7, never stopped moving. Yeah. Sat at his feet, looked her straight in the eyes, which she said never made eye contact ever, and said, I love you.
Verbally.
And she's never spoken in his life. And she's just like, whoa. And then through that was the beginning, figuring out that he could read people's minds. He could see what they were thinking, and through the whole what do you call it? They call it speaking, or no, sorry, spelling. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, like
spelling.
Finger spelling.
It's where they have like the tablet or like whatever for them to communicate.
Yeah.
Figuring out that he's like, I've been in here the whole time. That was the first thing he said. Like, I've been in here the whole time. I've been aware this whole time. Mm-hmm. And she just broke down crying. And it was a terrible thing. He said the worst thing that he felt bad about was that he, earlier in the years when they're still living with their dad, that the dad was abusing the daughter and he wasn't able to speak or communicate that this was happening. So he felt
the whole time. Torture.
Because he could read the dad's mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. But it starts with him talking about this place. He says that he goes to this place with other kids, other people that have this ability of telepathy. They said telepathy is just the tip of the iceberg. It goes way deeper.
When you say go to this place while he's sleeping, or mentally?
Mentally. They call it the hill.
Yeah.
He referred to it as the hill. And he says, we meet there, we teach each other things, we pray for each other. And it's like this community of kids that have this ability. They go to the hill. She's like, wow, that's wild. And then met another kid in Atlanta. His name is John Paul, and they're friends. And he referred to it as the hill as well. And continues on, is like, this is a wild concept, right? But then it was her, I believe, 5th episode. Before she released these episodes, she was interviewing this other mom in, where was it?
It was like Texas, right? Like
yeah, it might have been. No, it's Chicago. This kid was from Chicago. And the mom's talking like, yeah, he talks about, he goes to this place called the Hill. Mm-hmm. No communication with these other people.
They don't know each other at all.
They're using the same reference at calling it the Hill where they go. And they specify it's not like a physical place. It's like not dimensional. It's like it's like a place where their consciousness goes. And they said, but it's like in the shape of a hill. But it's like not dimensional. But this kid from Chicago talks about how he talks to other kids around the world, like one from Denmark, one from Texas, one from like just all over the world.
Yeah.
I always, like, I've seen the telepathy tapes or listened to them, and it's crazy because I always thought they were dreaming, these kids, right? Like they would do it in their sleep. But it makes perfect sense that they're doing it while they're awake, because especially if they're nonverbal, like most of the kids who are doing this are nonverbal. So if they're nonverbal, and like the kid said, I've been here the whole time, his consciousness is there. He knows what's going on. He understands what's going on. Not to mention he can read people's minds, which is probably why he's nonverbal, because to read people's minds and be verbal would be a lot, like an overload of information. But I feel like it makes sense that most of the kids who are going there are nonverbal, and they're going there while they're awake because of the fact that they're stuck in their body. So I feel like it'd be easy to transcend into another place with all these other kids because you're not speaking. Like, he's really in a deep state of meditation at all times, I would assume. But if you haven't seen the telepathy tapes, you should check it out.
My son said to me, I can hear thoughts. And I said,
Impossible.
and he said to me, you don't get the kind of gifts that I have if you lie.
Let's please
That's like my
multiply
favorite
two
quote
numbers
ever.
and see if he gets it.
Okay, what is it?
9 0 0.
Unbelievable.
1.
Maybe shuffle again, Dr. Powell. Oh.
Plus 2.
So he got the plus, too.
I was wondering, because I was looking at the 2 the whole time, and I saw his hand going somewhere else.
What is this phenomena happening? Why are his mind and my mind completely connected?
I knew that a lot of people would think, boy, Diane's gone off the deep end. But that's the risk any scientist takes when they challenge the current paradigm.
Joining us today to shed some light, Dr. Diane Powell.
I'm working with children who have been reported by a parent to be able to read their mind. The data was so compelling and accurate that I had to follow it, even though I knew I was risking my scientific reputation. I started testing them, and I found that they were exceedingly accurate.
What is the next number?
3.
After the medical board took my license away, I had to prove my sanity. And once I did, I said, I'm going to prove that ESP is real.
Dr. Tarrant, he's done these QEEG scans to see what's going on.
The biggest overall finding is really this increase of activation across all the brain waves. If there was no change, I would definitely be skeptical.
If you can show a consistent pattern, particularly from kid to kid, that's how science changes. You cannot fake this.
We want answers like, where does it come from? I want to know how and what are we supposed to do?
We can't all be crazy. We are far more powerful than we can imagine, and the implications are huge.
That's crazy. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe for all my future content. Also, if you hit that bell notification, you will be instantly notified when all my future content drops. If you're into metaphysics and manifestation, this is the channel for you. Let's find the cheat codes to life and jump right back into this video.
Here's how to actually lucid dream. Lucid dreaming is when you become aware that you're in a dream, and this means you can now control everything. It's very fun. So here's the technique called MILD. It stands for Mnemonic Induction to Lucid Dreaming. It's the method that works for me. As you are falling asleep, repeat the phrase in your head, I will control my dream, I will control my dream, I will control my dream. By repeating this mantra, you're encouraging your brain to be aware when you begin dreaming, and therefore, you should lucid dream.
Sounds simple, right? This works. It was crazy because I couldn't dream. Like, I couldn't remember my dreams for like a year. It really happened after I was lucid dreaming one night, realized I was lucid dreaming, and asked somebody where the Akashic records were. And then I was like, where's the library? Because I kept trying to find the Akashic records in my dreams. So they bring me to this shelf, and there was a little pamphlet. Like, it wasn't even a book. But it was crazy because this pamphlet had a lot of information that was relevant to my waking life. But after that, I couldn't dream for like a year. So it was driving me crazy. Finally, I saw a video like this. It wasn't the same guy. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try it. I have nothing to lose. And I went to sleep. Before I fell asleep, I was like, I will lucid dream. I will lucid dream. I kind of had a different approach than him, but same thing. Use his method and see if it works. If not, try saying, I will lucid dream. I will lucid dream. It works. Believe me.
There's a CIA paper titled Assessment of the Gateway Process. Basically, this paper tells you that our entire universe is a hologram. This paper was written as an assessment of the work of Dr. Robert Monroe. Dr. Robert Monroe was a radio broadcaster who realized something strange about our brain and how it responds to frequency. So our brains have two hemispheres, the left and the right, but they both respond to stimuli differently and frequency differently. But what he realized is if you can get them to harmonize and work together, then your entire body starts to work in this very unified way where now you start to tap into these energy fields around you, and you can induce lucid dreaming, you can induce astral projection, and you can actually leave your body and start to traverse these other dimensions that exist around us.
Have you ever astral projected? If so, throw it in the comments.
Oh my gosh, okay. Do you want to be a literal wizard? Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You can be. There's an actual Hogwarts in America.
No.
It is in Faber, Virginia. And they teach you how to bend spoons, go out of your body, and use your consciousness to travel to other levels of the multiverse. I went there and I'm going to tell you about it.
Oh, shit.
And if you're like, oh, I've heard of this place maybe? Yes, maybe in the CIA papers that have gone viral about the gateway process, the CIA was indeed interested in them and studied the Monroe Institute and went there.
Wow.
Yes, this is the same one and it still exists and you can go. And I'm going to tell you about their programs, which are so cool. Basically, it was founded by this guy named Robert A. Monroe. He was a businessman, he was smart, and he wrote a book called Journeys Out of the Body and a lot of others based on how all of a sudden, after his middle life, he started to go out of his body. This is actually the one I just attended and got back from. It's called the OBE spectrum. For me, this was well worth it. This included room and board, 3 meals a day, yoga, meeting the best people I've ever met in my life. Because you spiritual people know how lonely it is sometimes. We need metaphysical, kooky friends. And it's the perfect place to meet them. And you get to learn the program. I saved up for it, and it was worth it. And I'm going back. They have more programs. So this one teaches you how to have an out-of-body experience. It talks about the different kinds. There's bilocation, where your consciousness is in 2 places at once. There's actually out of the body, where you could see yourself, and you're on the ceiling, and you're like, whoa. You can put your hand through walls. You can fly to other places. Like, people have done this. And you learn the tools here. And some people have the out-of-bodies there. Some have it 30 days after. I experienced bilocation several times there. You also learn about lucid dreaming. I did almost go out of my body. I went like a third out. And then I got scared, which they teach you to deal with. These are some of the friends I met. I can't show the video of everyone because it's secret. But you meet people your age. And a lot of older, wiser people too. Okay, so the rest of their programs. For all the people that are like, I want to do this from home, I don't want to travel to Virginia, spoon bending they have. You literally learn how to bend spoons. And once you see that it's possible and real, your mind will not only, I can't speak today. Your mind will not only blow open, but you'll probably want to actually go there and learn more about what it is called psychokinesis, turning on light bulbs with your energy, bending spoons, more. And they have a program called MC Square that does just that. That's my next one I'm interested in. They also have a lucid dreaming course. Once again, this includes room and board, food, and the program, and meeting friends. You have one you could do at home. This one is like the most famous one, is book for a year, but this is an online one I believe you can take. Remote viewing is where they give you like coordinates or tell you to view somewhere. And then basically you have to draw what you're viewing and they say if you're really viewing it. Like, let's say they gave you coordinates of the pyramids and you didn't know that and then you drew the pyramids. That's remote viewing. Like, you see it and you're pulling in the information, but they tell you how. This is the full remote viewing. Oh, and the guy that trains you is the guy that literally made the program, I think, like, for the government. Called the Stargate program, I think. Yeah. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. And then this is the gateway experience you can do at home, or the one you can go there for. This is the one the CIA talked about in their CIA papers. And then once you really get obsessed, they have like Exploration 27, where you can go to like other dimensions and talk to like higher intelligent beings. All right, bye. Oh, and you can go to Monroe Institute, monroeinstitute.org to learn more about this. They also have a really cool app called Expand that's literally $11 a month and has like a lot of these practices on there. And trust me, it's well worth it. My mental health thanks them every day.
In the course of his astral projections, he discovered that we're living in a control system that is managed by entities who work for a demiurge that's harvesting us for what he called loosh. He said that we're in a loosh farm, that humans are being deliberately subjected to conditions that create extreme emotional states. Extreme suffering, misery, fear, terror, ecstasy, extreme desire, pathological impulses, And these are all being used to basically generate a form of energy that they can harvest from the human soul, including after death, where they basically juice souls for the loosh.
That's true. If you astral project and go to a prison, you'll see this for yourself. Energy cannot escape cubes. Everything today is built in cubes to trap energy. The ancients knew this. This is why their rooms were never square. They had pointed roofs for energy to escape. Everything you see molds your mind in some form or way. Cubes and squares are the most limited shapes. By seeing cubes and squares all the time, this is subconsciously limiting our minds. The ancients built with beauty and sophistication because they understood what they see has an effect on their mind. They changed this to dull us down, to make things more simple, to make you more simple. Environment, it's all mental, it all has an effect on your mind. I think you can work this one out yourself.
Govern our mentals.
Yes, you can leave your body and experience higher dimensions. Here's how. The best time to do this is during the daytime, and to start, prop your head up under a couple pillows and lay down with your arms and legs spread apart. You don't want anything touching. Then you're going to take slow, deep breaths until you feel your energy body. You're trying to keep your physical body asleep while you keep your mind and energy body awake. After about 20 to 30 minutes of stillness, you'll start to feel tingling. This is the vibration phase. Once you feel intense vibrations throughout your body or you hear a loud ringing noise, you are ready to project your energy outward. At this stage, you have to pull your awareness up. I like to visualize a rope through the center of my body pulling me upwards. You can also visualize lifting your hand or foot up without actually moving your physical body. If you fear and are ready for this experience, you will pop out of your physical body. Just know that this is a very intense experience, and when I first did this, I felt like I was dying. And before you do this, you should be 100% mentally stable and grounded. Also important that you properly bless your space before doing this. Also, I've been experimenting with different frequencies, and I found the best frequency that will work for anyone and allow them to astral project. And since we're all the same divine energy operating through different bodies, I'm giving away this frequency for completely free to everyone who follows me on Instagram.
Sleep paralysis is actually a gift. So if you've ever woken up in the middle of the night or during a nap and you cannot move, you can't really breathe, like a demon is sitting on your chest, you're hallucinating, maybe seeing witches or demons or shadow people, there's actually a way to unlock this for you, and it's a gateway to astral projection and a lot of other cool stuff. So there's an interview by Joey Badass about sleep paralysis as the gateway to astral projection. This changed my life. And this knowledge is, it takes some work. Like, it's not like you're going to hear this and automatically it'll switch. I mean, it actually could. But you also have to train your brain. So in the video, he goes on to say that when you have sleep paralysis, you might see a witch lady or demon lady. You can't move. You're frozen, right? You feel like you might be dying. And then he goes on to say it's actually a gift, and here's why. So he says, you know what the next step is? The next step is, after you can't move or can't breathe, you relax into it, you calm down, and all of a sudden, you're out of your body. And crazy enough, just to give you guys some proof, I'm plagued with sleep paralysis. And after I watched this video, coincidentally, I was going to the Monroe Institute 2 years ago to learn the gateway process, which is where they train your consciousness. You can go out of your body. And I had never done that. I had sleep paralysis on the plane going to the Monroe Institute. I relaxed into it. And as I relaxed, I came out of my body like I was a mist. And then I knew that my body was back there, and I started to think, oh my God, I'm in a plane, I'm gonna get lost, like I can't be doing this. And then I went back into my body. It's also really funny because in this video, when he talks about how you move out of your body in sleep paralysis and that it's not a demonic thing, that we just think it's a demonic thing because our minds play tricks on us, which basically when you have sleep paralysis and you're in that realm of the mind or that dream state, your beliefs hold a lot in what you see. So if you think it's going to be a demonic or bad experience, it will be. Or your mind will go into survival mode and panic, so you see some of those things. But the second, I guess, you train your brain to not be scared, which is hard, you can have these amazing experiences. And he chuckles and he goes, oh, the government definitely doesn't want you to know that. And I've actually heard, I'm not even being cray-cray right now, that maybe I am, but the government does have a list and follows people who astral project. If that's true, that's cool. And it means we're onto something. He then laughs and talks about how he literally at any time he wants can just like fly off his balcony and do what's called remote viewing. So this is one of many. Russell Targ was part of the Stargate program, I think, for the CIA, and wrote a book about remote viewing. He is a legend. One of the many books is called A Limitless Mind, A Guide to Remote Viewing and Transformation of Consciousness. In this, basically he talks about remote viewing and how you can view, what this guy says too, when you astral project, you can go remote view your friend Jamie in bed, or you can go fly above your town and see what's going on. Like, these are real things. People in the government were trained to do it. There's a movie called Men Who Stare at Goats that's about the government program with George Clooney, I think. Anyway, I don't want to ruin the whole video. Go watch it. It's on YouTube. Literally just type in that and you'll find it. But I just wanted to unlock sleep paralysis for you guys, because if you're like me, you're terrified of it. And I literally thought I was going to die in my sleep one day. Fear can kill. But when you realize that a lot of these things they portray in the media to be demonic, just like they portray things that are the divine feminine or magic to be demonic, once you realize that there's that's just a word and a label, and these things are gifts and they have multi-dimensional aspects and meanings and mystical properties. We live in a world of magic, guys. Of course no one wants you to know that. Then it's hard to keep control of anyone. But once you know that, your world will unlock. Start questioning what you've been taught and what you believe and where the fear comes from. You will unlock a magical world. Astral projection, lucid dreaming, and remote viewing, and controlling part of your reality, because there's something that also controls back, which I'll talk about another time. It's called plasma. Those of you who know. But yeah, there's good and bad, but then there's above that, where there's a rainbow, or gray, or both. There's stuff above good and evil, guys. There's a reason we're all oh, good, oh, evil. Well, guess what? What about multidimensional, interdimensional magic? I bet they don't want that mainstream. I'm being so conspiracy. I'm they. But seriously, empower yourself. Start asking questions. Get curious. I'm done. Love you. Bye.
Sleep paralysis can actually result from a few different kinds of things. But one of them, the most common one, is that you are shifting for whatever reason. Whether you're interacting with other beings or not, you sometimes will shift between what you consider to be the physical reality and the spirit reality. But in the mid-shift, you're not really exactly in one or the other, and you may sort of be conscious of the fact that you're sort of straddling two different vibrational realities and not understand how to move in either of them yet. That can cause what you experience and call sleep paralysis. You no longer really are exactly in the physical world, so you can't really move in that one. You're not completely in the spiritual one, so you're not really sure how to move in that one. It causes kind of a crystallization or a locking up that acts as a transitional bridge between the two. So it's a temporary state that represents that transitional vibrational shift.
And sometimes it's not, because usually sleep paralysis present people with something scary.
Well, that's only because their physical mind doesn't quite understand what's happening, and it sometimes can interpret the unlocking from physical reality as an actual death. It actually feels like it's being annihilated. That's not the case. Another reason why some people might be a little bit scared of it is because sometimes that transition might be happening by being in contact with other beings from other dimensions who may be helping you cross that barrier into their reality, and again you feel out of control because those other beings are more familiar with that process than you may be, and you may not have been brought up with the tools to understand how you're participating in that crossing, in that transition. So it might seem a little scary because it feels like you're out of control, even though you're not really.
If you've had sleep paralysis, you know how terrifying it could be. I had it one time and I was so scared. It was the first time it ever happened to me, and I felt something sitting on top of me, and I was screaming for my dog to come help me. I was like, Rocco, help me. And finally I came out of it, but I already felt like there was a ghost in that house, and that just confirmed it for me. But sleep paralysis is very scary. So if you can learn how to harness that and come out of it and not fear it and embrace it, I wonder what comes next.
Mall World. Have you ever been there?
the mall that's attached to like a hospital and a school and a parking garage. There's also the airport attached to the mall. And then back behind the mall, you have the amusement park, water parks, and like the literal ocean, cliffs. You can see it through the windows. You can see the ocean through the windows of the mall and the hospital. And sometimes you can see this in the background. Then there's the big theater attached to the mall, school. Everyone you've ever met is here in the theater. You have like an underground market, which is different than the mall. It's more like a flea market. There's infinite toilets. Anytime you have to use the restroom, it's like they're broken and they're all connected together. Next to the parking garage is like a really dangerous playground. And then you come to like the fairgrounds, the outdoor markets. There's like cabins.
Suddenly, her comment section was flooded with people claiming that they too dream of this same quote unquote mall world place. They all mentioned things like escalators going to floors that don't exist, elevators that free fall or move very quickly, or are just generally unsafe and give off a feeling of dread. They all seem to agree that the food court smells like popcorn.
They all say that this mall is filled with endless escalators. It has a bunch of stores that no one can like recognize. It has like soft yellow lighting, and that the food court smells like popcorn. Like everyone agrees that this is the place that they have all been to.
They describe endless toilets, flickering fluorescent lights, a mall that feels half alive, and a theater that has everyone you've ever met inside of it. And according to people who have this dream, everyone you've ever met who's inside of this theater, they're all watching a movie that the person dreaming can't see.
Not gonna lie, the mall world shit is freaking me out, because how do you know about the theater? The theater that I go to all the time where the entire world is there and it seems like everybody's watching the show and I can't see it.
There's other similarities in these stories about mall world too. People all report a feeling of unease, being watched, or a feeling that they're not supposed to be there. Some people realize this feeling while they're still asleep and still inside of mall world. Others report feeling fine while dreaming and while they're inside of mall world, and that the sense of dread or being somewhere that they shouldn't be doesn't wash over them until they wake up. Either way, it seems every mall world visitor or dreamer reports this same feeling. And it's not just a feeling that they share either. Once this map of mall world went viral, basically every person who claims that they dream of this place swears that this map is 100% accurate to what they also saw in their entirely separate dream.
Wow.
It's weird. And from there,
Have you been
the
there?
conversation exploded. Reddit posts, TikTok stitches, map sketches, and thousands of people online claiming that they've visited this same dream world. Some internet sleuths have even searched for similar patterns surrounding the people posting about Mall World or claiming that they've been there in their dreams. And internet sleuths say that there are a few links tying visitors or dreamers of Mall World together. Links like a large percentage of Mall World visitors were also allegedly participants of the GATE program, or ties to some sort of military background for either them or their immediate family members.
I'm gonna ask my friend who was engaged.
Hey, I wanted to talk about this weird phenomenon that's happening online right now, and it's being talked about in places like Reddit and TikTok. It's called Mall World. And what it is basically is this mall, this dream space or dreamscape it takes place in a big, empty, weird mall that a bunch of different people go to. Every time they dream, they go to Mall World. It's got like escalators that go to nowhere, endless hallways, flickering fluorescent lights, food courts, and stores that you've never seen before in real life. There's an amusement park there. It's by the ocean. It's called Mall World, and supposedly a lot of people are going to it in their dreams. One person has gone to it so many times that they've mapped it out, and they've shown it on TikTok, and other people are like, yeah, that's it. That's Mall World. Anyways, that's weird, but on top of all that, some of these people have connected going to Mall World to the GATE program, which was short for the Gifted and Talented Education Program. Basically, it was a thing in schools back, I don't know, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where certain students were taken out of class and put through different tests and that kind of thing. It was run by the government, and some people think it was a way to find these special people that could do special things, like maybe access an alternate reality or access places where normal people couldn't go. A lot of these people that are going to Mall World also went through the GATE program. So what do you think? And have you been to Mall World, or did you go through the GATE program? I would love to know in the comment section, and let's talk about it.
I asked my friend about the GATE program, and he said I was like, did they ever take you off property? And he said the only thing he remembers is going to the planetarium, which I don't even know if there was a planetarium in Vegas at that time, but planetarium, Mall World, who knows?
What if I told you I cracked the code on Mall World? What if I told you that the government has a cerebral technology that transport your consciousness into this alternate reality that is fed energetically and projected based on your personal fears? Yes, follow me. I know it's hard to process, it might be complex, but I'm about to break it down for you. So, we already know that they've been putting it in front of our face with the X-Men. I already showed you a clip, but I can cut you to another one. Let's go to the clip. Yeah. Yeah. How they can track your consciousness, pinpoint exactly where you are, exactly what you're doing. Okay, so we already have CERN admitting that they also have portals to the fifth dimension, okay? And they have this technology when you're in that REM state of sleep, REM, rapid eye movement, state of sleep, when your consciousness is easier to transport, which is how cloning is done, okay? They get you when you're in sleep, in dead sleep tonight, and then they transport your consciousness into another being, okay? But this is technology, the cloning technology they've had since the 1800s, when you had Cabbage Patch Kids and orphans and all of these people that were being shipped to the Great Americas in boats.
Yeah, it's crazy, the orphan trains.
When you look up the pictures, okay? Though none of them look like us. Okay, but follow me. Back to where we were. So with CERN having these portals, they are able to curate with these reality bending technologies. And it's curated based on your own personal fears. You know what I'm saying? Like how Freddy Krueger is able to hop into your dream, transport it, and able to scare you in a way that is personalized to you based onto your fears. It is the same way in this reality construct that you help build and create. You get what I'm saying? Because we all pretty much have the same shared fears and experiences through programming, TVs, movies, things of that nature, and collective consciousness. So your fears feed the atomic energetic system that is harnessing your fear, that is curating the world that you are experiencing in the mall world, that all kids coincidentally that was in the Stargate program are experiencing. The same ones that had you drinking straight fluoride, doing testing on your energetic spiritual abilities and locking them up and then trapping you in fear, and everybody else was in on it. Family, friends, teachers, them all. Yes.
I don't know.
I'd have these dreams and they were so lucid. I'd be like walking around the dream and I would know I was dreaming and I couldn't wake myself up, and I would try to wake myself up. So then I would try to like dive out of a window to wake myself up, or try to like do something that will like jar me awake, and then I would do it, and then I would wake up, and then I would be in another fucking dream, and I'd be in my bedroom and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go up and get some water, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh my god, I'm still in the dream because this isn't the shit on my walls. Whoa. And I'd have to wake myself up again. Fucking gnarly, dude.
It makes you wonder, what is real? If you could live in a perpetual dream, what's going on there? There's something happening, you're experiencing things. Things are happening. Whether you're lying there with your eyes closed or not, there's a bunch of shit that's going on, a bunch of experiences that your senses are taking in that are pretty fucking remarkably similar to real life.
Right.
Like, that's why it's so crazy, because it feels real, right? That's why dreams, like especially lucid dreams, trip you out, because it feels real.
It feels real, but I like that, like when you dream like a really weird dream, you just accept the reality of like when I remember a dream, I'll be like, yeah, I just totally was in this dream and just accepted that I was like riding a rabbit, you know what I mean? Like over a fucking skyscraper to like save Katy Perry's face or something.
It's crazy.
The library are what people call the Akashic records. This is what Edgar Cayce called them whenever he discovered them. The Akashic records are the records of everything that has ever happened to you. This life, all the other lives you've ever lived. And they come in many different forms. Many people see them in a book form. Other ones can see them as holographic images on walls. But in that library are also all the wisdom, all of the answers. There are books that contain everything that has ever been written and everything that ever will be written. And each of you have a book in that library. So when I go there, I like to ask all kinds of questions because that's where you can find your answers. But the spirit side is all full of wonderful things there because you also make your plans before you come back into the next life. And you have boards and councils and your guides and your guardians and your masters and elders that help you to make the decisions of what you're going to do the next time you come back into a life.
Look up the book, Many Lives, Many Masters. It's crazy.
They don't want you to know this. What if I told you there's a hidden library that holds everything from the past, present, and future? It's called the Akashic Records. Imagine a database where every thought, action, and experience of every soul is recorded. The Akashic Records exist on a non-physical plane known as the etheric plane. And according to recent scientific research, our universe has been found to show elements of existing as a giant hologram, with every bit of information encoded in the fabric of space-time. But it gets even deeper. The records hold the secrets to advanced technologies and forgotten knowledge. Could this be how the ancient Egyptians built their pyramids? As so many ancient civilizations seem to have wisdom far beyond their time. The Akashic Records are said to be accessed through deep meditation, specific spiritual practices, and sometimes when dreaming. People who have accessed these records claim to have a deeper understanding of their purpose in life. The records are talked about by the ancient Egyptians, Mayans, Indians, Greeks, and the ancient Sumerians. They all speak of the concept of a universal record-keeping system.
That's crazy.
You keep having dreams that come to pass, you are a seer. Dreaming is one of the most underestimated and undervalued, misunderstood aspects of the prophetic dimension.
Facts.
But it's one of the most essential ways that God, the heavens, communicate with people on the earth. Stop brushing it off. Stop calling it coincidence. Heaven is trying to talk to you. Here are 7 signs that your dreams are prophetic. Number 1, your dreams actually come to pass. You see it in your sleep, and in days or weeks or even years later, it unfolds exactly the way that you saw it. Number 2, there is vivid clarity. Your dreams feel more real than real life. You wake up and remember details, faces, places, phrases, times, people. Number 3, repetition. God keeps showing you the same thing over and over in different ways. He's confirming his word to you. Number 4, there's an emotional weight. You wake up troubled, burdened, like the dream has followed you out of the unconscious realm into your awakened state. That's not anxiety, that's spiritual intelligence. Number 5, symbolic language is in your dream. Your dream is full of numbers, animals, names, colors, strange locations. Those are codes that you have to be trained to interpret. Number 6, your dreams have warning and direction. You've been warned about people. You've been warned about jobs. You've been warned about relationships. And when you didn't listen, it backfired. That wasn't just your overactive emotions or imagination. That's discernment through your dream state. And then number 7, you audibly hear the voice of the Lord in your sleep. Not your voice, but his, and it's unmistakable. So you need to understand that you're not just having random regular dreams. You're seeing. And in your sleep, you're traveling. You're not crazy. You're called. And you need to steward, hone, train, and be trained in the gift of God.
My first memory was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling and you hit the bottom and you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first memory, but I didn't wake up here. I was inside my mother's womb. And I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb. And I'm like, okay, don't forget I'm here. Okay. Don't forget. You go to sleep. You wake up again. Now something's moving in front of you. And you're like, oh, that's my friend. But I had a different name for it. I didn't know it was my hand. But I knew I had a title for it. go back to sleep, all of those things. Then ultimately you get ready to come out. I remember all of that.
You remember coming out?
Remember being compressed, and you want to panic, but you're flooded with like some serotonin and dopamine to where you feel relaxed. You go right back to sleep. You remember being born. I remember being circumcised. I remember the whole nine. And the proof of it was when my wife, Mira, that you just met, when she was 6 months pregnant with my son, Kieran, I wanted to prove to her what I was talking about. So I put a light on her stomach every day at 6 o'clock at night. And I would move that light back and forth, and I'd put a song on for a week straight. On Saturday, after a week, I didn't put the light there, and I didn't do the music. And he pushed up on her stomach. And then when I put the light there, he started following the light. And for the next 2 months, we did this every night, and he would go all the way around her belly, back and forth, always pushing on it. I didn't understand at the time that maybe I've interfered with the development process, and maybe he's wrapped the cord around his neck. I shouldn't have done all of this, but it came out wonderful and fine. And this little boy, first thing he wanted to do is see light. He loved lights from that early stage, and I can ask him the square root of 2, the square root of 5, the square root of that, the square root of pi, and he will run it off. But he's just like, his personality is like Forrest Gump, to where he's just loving and wants everybody to be around him and care. But for me, that's where it started, in there. And then when I was about 5 years old, I had another dream, and the room filled up with like this fluid, a dark fluid, and I could see the ripples of it moving around, and there was a being there, and I remember being walked through that fluid with him, and I was trying to look up at him, and I couldn't turn my head to look at him, and he had his hand straight. I knew his voice, but I did not know who it was, but I felt confident and comfortable. And as we moved along this dark blue fluid path with like chartreuse covering the, how when you look into a pool and you see the ripples, and if you're at the bottom of the pool, you see the ripples overlapping. That's what it looked like. And then when we got to the end of it, he said to me, if you could have anything in the world, what would it be? Now, we were really poor. My dad had just gotten out of prison, for manslaughter. I didn't have much, but I said to him, I want to know how everything works. And at that moment, he used his left hand and he opened up the door. And there was this mansion, big brown doors. And inside of it was this crystalline flowers. Big crystalline flowers, like a giant, like 5 feet across. And every time I tried to see his face, he would reach in and hand me another shape. And I was so fascinated with the shapes because they didn't look like the platonic solids. They didn't look like anything I'd ever seen before. And he would hand me these shapes, and each shape was different and amazing. And I woke up from that dream. But after that moment, anytime something strange would happen in a dream, I had the powers of inception. Anytime I would be naked at school, I would say, I'm not naked. I must be dreaming. And immediately I would run out of the school or run out of wherever I was, and I would find that mansion again. And I had access to all the knowledge. The proof of it is the 97 patents that I have now. The proof of it is the industries that I've innovated. It's like waking up, having a dream that you have a diamond in your hand, and out of nowhere, you wake up and you're hoping you're holding it, and you try and hold it, and it's gone when you wake up. But the proof is all the stuff that I've been able to do now.
So all these thoughts are from the time you were a baby. These are not things that you've learned. These are things that you had in your mind from the time you were born.
From before that time, because I remembered that I had been someplace else before. Now, what's interesting, that voice that I heard, that's my voice now. So it was like my greater self was leading me through and periodically would show up again in other dreams.
That's got to be one of my favorite videos when it comes to the Akashic Records. Terrence Howard will definitely go down as a great mind in history. If you made it this far in the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends. Hit that bell notification to be alerted for all my future content. I'm Jtali. This is JtaliReacts, and we out.
Yeah. Jtali. I manifest. Want it, I see it, I got it, I get it, no question. I manifest. They send me protection from all of these hitters. They stealing my blessings like, raising them.